Hi there. Hope you all are doing good. Today I am with module 3 of reproduction in plants. In this module, we will focus on vegetative reproduction and its parts, advantages and disadvantages. Let's quickly recap from module 1 about vegetative reproduction. It means when reproduction takes place using a part of a plant or a cell or a tissue. We can also say that vegetative reproduction means reproduction without using seeds, or we can say that formation of new plants from vegetative units of bud, stem, etc. These vegetative units are commonly known as propagules. Vegetative reproduction may take place using two modes of reproduction. They are natural mode and artificial mode. Natural mode of reproduction includes roots, stems and leaves, whereas artificial mode of reproduction adopted by human are cutting, grafting, layering and tissue culture. As in vegetative reproduction, the process is carried out by vegetative parts of the plant, so it is also called as vegetative propagation. Let's proceed first by natural method, in which using root, stem and leaves, plants can be grown. The first category is roots. In some plants like sweet potato and dahlia, a new plant develops through their modified roots, commonly known as tubers. The buds located at the base stem grows into a new plant. The next one is using stem. The underground stem of potato is called stem tuber. The eyes on its surface germinate to give rise a new plant. The underground stem of onion, tulip, etc. are called bulbs. It carries buds which help them to grow new plants. Next is the underground stems of ginger and turmeric are called rhizome. The new plants grow from these buds just like potato plants. Hence, again reproduction of new plants by using stem only. The last category is leaves. When the leaf of some plants are buried into the moist soil, the cut edges or margin of leaves, known as buds, develop a new plants that resemble to the parent plants. Bryophyllum or sprout leaf plants are very common in these cases. The next category, artificial methods of propagation, is very helpful for building up your own garden. Can you imagine making your own garden using simple tricks? In this category, the first method is cutting. It involves cutting off part of a stem and placing it in moist soil. After a few days, the cutting part develops root and shoots and grows into a new plant. Plants like sugarcane, rose, hibiscus are very common in this category. The next one is grafting. Grafting involves the stem of two different plants. One is with root called stalk and other without root called scion. The scion and stalk are firmly tied together. The stalk supplies water and minerals to the scion. In due course, new cell develops in the area where they are joined and a new variety of plants develop. This is very common in plants such as rose, mango, guava, lemon, etc. The second last category is layering. Layering is the method where branch of a plant is pulled towards the ground and a part of it is covered with moist soil, but leaving the tip of the branch exposed above the soil. After a few days, new root develop from the branch in the soil which grows to become a new plant. Plants like grapes, jasmine, etc. are propagated by this method. Out of all these, another method called tissue culture is also a part of this propagation, but it is used for large-scale growths only, which we will discuss in detail in the coming videos. Now, let's see what are the advantages of this method. The first one is it is very quick method of multiplying plant. No external agent like insect, wind, etc. is required in the second case. Next one is very less time is required for maturing. New plants are exact copies of the parent plants. Most importantly, seedless plants like banana, sugarcane, pineapple can be grown by using this technique only. Along with advantages, some disadvantages are also carried by this method. They are disease of parent plant carried by the daughter plants. Adaptability towards environment is very less. Due to large production in plants, it may cause overcrowding and lack of nutrients. So friends, that's all for today. Hope this module is very helpful for household gardening. Stay tuned for the next module. Till then, bye bye.